Welcome everybody to the Serpent for another pick a card reading. So today's pick a card reading is, I guess, a bit of a version of something I've been doing before, just with a slight difference. So I've done a number of visit to the fortune teller type of readings, and what it does is it gives me an opportunity to use different sort of divinatory methodologies, not just kind of tarot and oracle cards and so forth. And I enjoy doing them, and I've had quite a lot of positive feedback. People seem to enjoy them as well. I thought maybe to do it slightly differently, we might do a visit to a medium. So if you're either going to one of those sort of Victorian England seances where a medium would bring spirits, past loved ones, ancestors through, or whether you go to an individual medium, and this is probably more what we'll be trying to recreate here, and they draw through messages from people that you love who have passed on, if that's the case and what you're looking to connect with, or to your ancestral line or to your soul family line. So we're looking at that. We're looking at messages from spirits, other human spirits, I guess, rather than necessarily spirit guides at this, and in this particular case. And we're going to use different sort of divinatory ways. We're going to use a crystal ball. We're going to use a yes-no coin for a couple of yes-no questions right near the end. So bear in mind that that's going to come up. So be ready to think about what you might want to ask of a yes-no nature. We're going to use charm tokens. We're going to use astrology, number of sort of different things as well as tarot to get to the messages for you. So that's probably all the explanation that we need. Just imagine that you're going to a medium. Imagine who or what you would like to connect with, and see whether one of these cards draws you either in terms of a topic or in terms of something about who you want to connect with that you think that energy relates to, and make your choice that way. You, of course, can go to more than one reading if you would like. But for pile number 1, we have driver. For pile number 2, we have act of love, yes or no. And for pile number 3, we have promise. So if something about those energies draws you, the imagery or whatever, let that be your guide. If you always go to pile number 2 or 3, do that. Do whatever works for you. But when you know what reading or readings you want to go to, I'll have the timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see you there. Welcome, pile 1, to your reading. So you go in to see the medium, and the first thing that the medium wants to do is connect with your energy and see who is coming through and what the sort of topics or energies might be about. So with these 3 cards, the one that you came to and a couple of others from that deck, and then another deck that I'm going to use in a couple of minutes, what we're going to try and do is tune into who is trying to talk to you, whether it's a particular individual, whether it's more than one, what the energies might be, what the topic might be about, and so forth. This looks to me as though the medium would say that the person or persons, and in fact might be 2, it's possible that there's 2, it depends on whether this resonates to you and something you want to do that combines being very well known for something and very well scholarly, very well sort of informed about it, or whether there are sides of your sort of family, past loved ones or ancestral line that have kind of been in one or other of those worlds a lot. This is an energy that has a lot of energy. The energy that's coming through the past loved one or ancestral energy is very ambitious. It's very ambitious for you and was very ambitious in life. It may be that there is a sense of drive and energy for your whole bloodline. It might be we must be moving forward, we must be achieving, we must be very focused. This is a very focused energy. Now, it's possible that what we're talking about is 2 people or 2 sides of a particular kind of ambition line. There's a lot of ambition around this. There's definitely a sense that it's either a past loved one who was in the limelight in some way, or who wishes for you that you come into the limelight for something. They were very, very ambitious, and they're very, very ambitious for you. So it could be in terms of just being famous for fame's sake, or taking something that you're doing and really having it out in the world. And this is what the message is going to be about. But they either enjoyed the limelight themselves or had some notoriety, either positive or negative. They were known or seen in some way. Now, this doesn't have to be famous on the world stage. It could be within the community. It could be within a particular profession. It could have been on stage, but in an amateur way, but nevertheless, they were known. There's some sort of energy like that. There's a lot of drive. There's also a very scholarly energy here. Now, I'm not sure whether we're talking about 2 different people or whether this was someone who was extremely well known for their academic prowess, for their understanding, for their knowledge. They may well have had some sort of a job in academia in some way, or learning or teaching. But if it's the same person, they were very, very well known for it. If it's not the same people, and for some of you this may be two energies that are coming through, there may be actually a question that they're wanting you to think about, that you're very focused and ambitious, and these energies are coming to you because they were equally ambitious. But one is saying you should be a social influencer, you should be sort of on YouTube and TikTok, you should be seen, you should be on the stage and the screen, or whatever it might be. And the other might be saying knowledge is where your true growth is. Learning, you are very, very clever, you have a great mind, you have a capacity to focus and learn much better and deeper and quicker than others. So either way, what the medium is saying is that the message here is about ambition for you. It's about drive. It's about moving forward. And it's about a choice of focus, either that combines great knowledge and being out in the world, or that makes a choice between the two. And it feels as though this may be something in your ancestral or spirit family history. So if you don't have past loved ones that were like this, that have that kind of drive to be seen, to be the best, to be the most knowledgeable, that kind of thing, that want that for you as well. If that doesn't exist as a person, it may well be that this is way back in your ancestral line, or it might be your soul family. But whatever this is, this message is about get on the bike and get moving, and either make the choice between these or look how you can connect them together. So the medium says, let's get a little bit more of a sense about the energy that could be coming through. I'm getting, by and large, quite a masculine energy around this, but this might be just the kind of divine masculine sense of drive and ambition. So we're going to use the emotive connections deck to just get two faces and expressions to give us a little bit more idea about what energy is coming through, who it might be, what they may be like. Just as a sort of setting of the scene, also to make sure that you feel, yes, I've come to the right reading. So firstly, okay, we do have there's a masculine energy about this, definitely. I'll talk about what I'm getting from that in a minute, but I'll just put that out. Oh, yeah. There may be for some a kind of a sense of the divine feminine and masculine connected in some way. I have a bit of a sense of that from there. It is a sort of masculine looking face, but it has a feminine aspect to it. This is masculine as well. I feel that this is not necessary. It doesn't have to be a male energy that's coming through. If you feel that resonates, then that's probably right. But I do feel that this is a sense of unrealized ambition. Like the fact that both of these faces are quite young, this one in particular, but both of these faces are quite young. I feel like this is someone who maybe didn't have a long life. And as I say, this may be sort of someone in your spirit family. It may be someone that you know that you have lost. It may be someone sort of like a few generations back, but it feels like unrealized potential. That's what I think is happening. There's this sort of a gaze towards what could have been, a sort of acceptance, a sort of, okay, that was what happened, but a kind of a wistful feeling. This is an energy of someone who had, I think, much a similar sort of level of intelligence and drive and charisma as you. There's a lot of beauty in these faces. There's a lot of sort of very appealing sort of energy. But there's also a kind of as I say, there's a wistfulness. There's a feeling here of, I want you to be able to do what I couldn't do. And what does interest me for some of you, I'm getting very drawn to this face. I'm feeling, because it is a face that seems to be either masculine or feminine, it could be either. I'm feeling like there is maybe for some of you a woman from the past, like who wasn't able to achieve everything because when she lived, she was in a culture or a time which it was more a man's world in a way. So it's like I can see, regardless of whatever your gender is or that you relate to, there's a kind of, you can do it, you can take this forward. The time wasn't right for me, but the time is right for you. Don't waste your brilliant mind. Don't waste your charisma. Go forward, be confident. It's like take the baton. Like I feel that very strong. I'm very strong to that, drawn to that energy. I feel like that's the strongest. I do feel like there's kind of two energies here, but the main energy is this sort of sense of I want for you what I couldn't have. That's what I'm feeling is coming from this. This is what the medium is picking up, this sort of sense of I want you to achieve. You are meant to really outshine us all. You are meant to really rise in whatever this means for you. For some of you, I'm getting this could be a friend or a sibling who passed away. I'm very sorry if that's the case. They really want you to take forward something, maybe even something that you had a shared dream on. So for some of you, that's going to be the case. But there's very much a sense of longing for what could have been. And excuse me, I just paused for a second, so that's why I'm sounding a little bit out of breath around a delivery, so sorry for that. So tuning back in, as I say, I feel that the medium is connecting in to one or two past connections, probably that you knew. I think I was just getting that for some there could be a loss in someone sort of fairly young around you, a friend, a sibling, something like that. Sorry, I'm very out of breath. I'm not as fit as I should be. But there's definitely a feeling like that around this. I do also feel that, I'm getting one other thing. This could be someone who actually gave up their true ambition to follow a more traditional life path, I'm getting. And this is looking at these two energies. It feels like there could be somebody for some of you who was someone who was very artistic, very creative. That was what they longed for. They had a genius in that area, but they ended up in something, say, academic, more scholarly or more professional. And they were good and they were successful, but they weren't all that they could have been. So in a number of different ways, that is what the energy is coming through to you to say, that you have a variety of skills, a variety of abilities. You're going to be top notch at one or more of them. The question is, where do you want to focus? Where is the true drive? So I feel like there is a kind of regret in this of opportunities not taken, but a real love and care for you that you do take them. It's almost like carry the torch forward for those in your history, your ancestry, your soul family, whatever it is, that didn't get to be truly all that they could have been for whatever reason. So let's get something from tarot. Let's go to tarot and let's ask for a little bit more about the message for you right now. What the spirit coming through learnt that they would like to pass on to you, and also what the spirit coming through says it feels is unrecognised in you or by you now. So firstly, just a bit more about their message to you. Oh, yeah, the Star reversed. Wow, it's very clear. The Ten of Cups reversed, the Queen of Cups reversed, the Hermit, the Five of Cups. Yeah, the message is crystal clear in many ways. There is an unrealized potential, and they don't want you to have that unrealized potential. Something is blocking you. It could be feeling of what your family feel that you should do, particularly with the Ten of Cups reversed here. It could be what you think is possible in this world, what you think that you could achieve and reach for. But whatever it is, this energy really wants you to let go of all the emotional blocks that you have, really claim who you are. That this energy is saying you're not being able to at the moment be emotionally authentic to yourself. And it could be partly the amount of drive. It could be something in you. It could be that you feel you have to shine in some way to show you're the most knowledgeable. You have to achieve that, as opposed to finding the emotional depth and the connections that you want. There could be a message here of don't sacrifice your heart either for your ambition. It's sort of like either don't sacrifice your ambition to fit in with others, or it's don't sacrifice your heart just for ambition. But either way, you need to have the drive towards something that's going to make you happy. There's a real worry here that you find yourself separated out from others, that you have an expectation of emotional disappointment or of disappointing others in some way. I feel that it's saying that for some of you, you're very studious, you're very focused on that kind of level, but to the level that you're not enjoying being seen and being with others as well. So whatever this message is, and it's going to differ for the different people who are coming to this, you have a lot of potential. Your past loved one or your ancestors want you to know that. You carry a torch forward, and your heart is very beautiful, but you're protecting it. You're protecting it either because you feel like the ambition you're being pushed towards is not the one that's of your heart, or you're feeling that you have to sacrifice your heart for your ambition. And your spirit energy is coming here and wanting to say to you, don't have regrets on either side. It's possible. You have what you need for this. You have the focus, you have the charisma, you have the intelligence. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe it's possible. And as I say, for those who there may be a past loved one here who didn't manage to reach their ambitions, and maybe you were going to do something together, it's take the torch forward. Don't feel on that level that the impetus is lost because they are moved on, because they're still with you. It's very powerful. It's actually quite emotional. I feel quite emotional with this energy. It feels like there's a lot of love in this, Pile 1. There's a lot of love for you and wanting you to succeed and wanting you to be happy. So what did they learn that they would want to pass on to you? 3 of Cups, Knight of Wands, 5 of Swords, Ace of Cups. Wow, gee, there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of caring in this, I have to say. I feel like the medium would be quite overwhelmed by the amount of love energy that is here. What they learned is that friendship, connection, celebration, the heart is very, very important. It's very, very important. But it's also important not to walk away from your ambitions and your drive because of it. True friendship and true love will help you do this. Anything that is asking you to walk away from or stop battling with energies that are pushing you away from where you want to go and what you want to do, it's not true love, it's not true friendship. They learn, I think, the hard way. I think that one or more of the energies coming through here did what friends, family, or others required of them, did not follow through on what they wanted to do, walked away from what was closest to their heart. They're saying, don't do that. Don't do that, Pile 1. You have too much to offer. So do not do that. So what do they want to highlight for you that they think you're not seeing at the moment? In yourself, in your situation. The Hanged One, Knight of Swords reversed, Ace of Wands, 9 of Wands reversed, 2 of Wands. They're saying you're in a similar situation to them. That's why they're coming through. There are kind of, you're being pushed and pulled in a couple of directions, whether it is between, drama and theatre and being famous, or being scholarly and serious, and charisma or gravitas, performance or scholarly, like whether it's that kind of thing that you're being pulled in 2 directions, or whether you're being pulled in a direction towards something that seems to be very sensible, the clever, the proper way to do things, or the more extravagant and dramatic. What it's saying here is that you need to see that you have the choice. At the moment, you feel as though you have to sacrifice something for something else, and that's what they did, and they don't want you to do it. They're saying at the core of you is a great inspiration. Whether it's scholarly and theatric, it doesn't really matter. Whatever the 2 sides of you are, you can marry them in a new inspiration. You do not have to sacrifice one for the other. You do not have to choose one over the other. But you do need to see that there is a lot of pressure, intellectual pressure being put on you to satisfy other people. There's so if it's you are really looking at, say, and we'll use it as examples, you're looking at something where you want to be famous and seen and known, there's a lot of difficult energy and hurdles that you have to jump over to get through that. They're saying don't give up because of that. You have what it takes. On the other hand, over if it was, say, academic, then there's a lot of kind of like mental requirements that aren't really true to what your message is, and a lot of you have to make the professor happy or whatever it is. Again, it's like instead of giving up or giving in, find a way to negotiate around that while you retain your vision, your drive, because you're not meant to sacrifice this. You're not meant to lose heart. You're not meant to give up. And I think this person before, in one way or another, or these people felt that they did. They made the compromise, and they're wanting you not to make the compromise. It's very powerful. So let's see what we get with the crystal ball. See what else they want to say. Seeing two mountains, that's really interesting. And then there is actually, the person is walking towards the center. There is a person walking towards the center, probably around about, a mile or something away from the mountains, but they're walking towards the center. I think there is a central path. There is a way through that allows you to have the elevation and the success with both. Stay focused, very much driving forward like this. In fact, in its own way, the mountains could be like the wings. This is the mountains. Don't drive away from it, drive towards it, but drive towards that center point. Seeing what looks like a teepee, for instance. So maybe there is something here for some of you. On one side it looks like a teepee, on one side it looks like the pyramids. So this could be just picking up different energies that are in your ancestral line or your spirit's soul family line, either from sort of Native American or possibly from Egypt. There's a horse as well. Horse carries you forward. Horsepower, using your horse, that horsepower, moving forward, being sure about it. The horse is looking at you. Horse is waiting for you to come and you let it take you where it needs to go or where you need to go. So there's a sense of momentum, journeying, traveling. Someone is looking at you as though through a mirror. That there is something very similar here. This spirit energy is saying, we are so similar, we are so alike. It feels like to me, I think that if you don't automatically know who this is, if it's not someone from your immediate family or friendship circle, it's like, see what you can find out about your ancestral line, because I feel like you would find someone who had a life story very similar to yours. And they're coming through because they really want to see you complete something that they felt they weren't able to complete or weren't able to do. There's something here that looks like almost like a very large radio receiver or something. So I think this is like, the medium would say to you, you are a medium yourself actually. The energy so strongly coming through here is that for you. Yeah, and there's a parchment. It's asking you to write something down, write your thoughts down. That will bring you, that's the way to mirror what you want to do. Write it down, be clear about it, get clear on your direction. Okay. So, move the crystal ball back. We can also see what the medium can pick up with some tokens. See how your spirit guides here, your spirit ancestors or past loved ones want to sort of speak to you in terms of symbols and concepts. Excuse me. I've got quite a bit to say. Firstly, Gemini. There might be something about Gemini for you. They could be Gemini, could be twins. Actually, there could be twins talking here too, and that's very specific, but it's possible. But there could be some sort of connection like that. Siblings in some way, as I said, could be one of the things that we're talking about here. Otherwise, communication, your capacity for communication is very important for this. They're saying you're so unique. You're like a snowflake. Not in a weak way, but to understand what is unique around you. We have what looks like some sort of a toy. I'm going to actually see what the creator of these tokens spoke about for that image, just so that I don't misrepresent it. Gingerbread cookie. Childlike wonder, innocent, sweet, sacred. There's sort of something here about don't you lose your youth, don't lose the dreams of your youth, don't lose what was sacred and special and different about you when you were young. Loyalty. You are so loyal with the dog here. This is a very loyal spirit energy for you as well. Really wants the best for you. Wants you to be number one. Wants you to win. Win the prize. Get moving with the wheel here. Scorpio could be important too. Scorpio energies, that's also the mediumship. It's confirming that you have a mediumship ability, a medium communication ability. Weightlifting, like, yeah, this is you have strength, you have a kind of genius, all of that kind of thing. Spider, don't let the spiders sort of hold you back. Don't be afraid of anything. Move forward. Weave your web. Weave the web that is the snowflake, that is what is unique to you. It's a very strong sense that you have that mediumship ability. These energies are with you all the time. They're very loyal. They want you to do the best. They want you to win. This is a really strong message that's coming across here. So what dream symbolism might they send you? What should you look out for to know? Dream symbolism or synchronicities to know that these spirit energies, these ancestral connections or past loved ones are with you. Spider again. Gee, there's something about spiders with you. Certainly, if you have any fear of spiders, then they're saying don't be afraid of spiders. But the thing about spiders, I mean, this is karma, destiny, following your destiny, mystery, all of that kind of thing, vision, creativity. But the thing about spiders is most of them do not wish to attack. And this is the thing, people get scared of spiders and so forth. But most of them, they kind of just want to be left alone to do what they are meant to do. So I think there might be a message here about making sure that you don't scare people off, that people just understand you're following your karma, your destiny. But spiders are a strong element, a strong symbol for you in some way, or it's a strong symbol connected to this past loved one, which will help you know that they're there. Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about deadly spiders, but maybe if a spider is in your room, a house spider or something, it may be a sign that that energy is near you. And jungle. Okay, this is the sort of sense of instinct potential that it says, taking the risks, doing something that is new. You may dream of jungles. You may feel that life is a bit of a jungle, a bit overgrown and a little bit hard to navigate. But this is sort of saying, just drive through, just stick to the direction. Just go, just keep moving. Keep moving. You're meant to win in this. Life is a jungle. Yes, they're saying life is a jungle, but you are capable of finding your way through this. Absolutely. Okay. So let's just get you some astrology as well before we're going to do a couple of yes/no questions. And the message here is pretty clear though. There's something very special in you, Pile 1, something that you're meant to be ambitious about. Take the baton further. Do what these people couldn't do for whatever reason. They really want to see you succeed. So we have Pluto, yeah, like there's a very deep connection here actually. You're very much a medium yourself. You can go into the underworld, you can traverse the jungle. Jungle's easy for you. You've got the strength to go into the underworld to find what your destiny is if you need to. And they're saying sextile, and they're saying we're here to help you and it's going to be easier than you think. There's an easier way to harmonize all the deep sort of drives that you have and bring them together than you're thinking at this point. It's like, don't make the mistakes we made. It's not an either or. And Gemini again, it's both. It's not an either or, it's both. That's what this is saying. Whatever this is, you've got some choice around you at the moment. If you've come to the right reading, this will be clear. So, talking about choices, we're going to ask these spirits, if medium is asking these spirits to answer yes or no to 2 questions for you. If you already know what questions you wanted to ask, you'll be ready to do it. If not, pause, think of the question and then play, because I'm just going to toss this off camera because I don't want it to break the camera, and then bring it forward with my hand. So it's just going to be quick. There's no particular explanation about this. It's just yes or no. So the first question that Pile 1 can ask the medium to answer is, the answer is no. Think now of your second question. And the answer is no. Okay, so there are 2 no's to whatever that is. If no is something you didn't want to hear, maybe reflect on, maybe it is about a binary choice or whatever, and reflect on the message here to be able to do both. If no is something that you wanted to hear, then obviously that is a good message for you at the moment. All right, just to finish off this visit to the medium, we're asking for a blessing from your past loved ones or ancestors who've come to speak with you today. A blessing of the earth. This is something you're meant to manifest. This is something you're meant to bring into being. I think this is saying you will make money, you will do well out of whatever this is. And it's also a blessing of grounding, to know that these things are possible. In earth, the manifestation of the dream, of the energy, of all the spiritual things. And also because you are on earth, I'm also getting that, because you are here, because you are alive. They're with you, they're loyal, they care, they believe in you. It's your thing to take forward now in whatever way it is. You have the skills, you have the abilities, pile one, and you have their belief in you. So I hope this message has been supportive and assuring and connecting for you. If so, please like the video and subscribe. If you care to share in the comments, I'd love to hear. Otherwise, I hope to see you in future readings. Welcome, Pile 2, to your reading. So you came to the reading with the rather intriguing act of love, yes or no, which the way that it is portrayed, it even has almost like people almost being puppets in some way, or potentially being puppets. So I think that there's a kind of a question here about where other people's influence is an act of love and where it's an act of control. So that could be something that you're dealing with at the moment, whether it's from family or friends or a workplace or a boss or a business partner or something. There could be something where you're trying to really work out some choice you have, some sort of like influence that is on you, those sort of things, whether or not you feel in control and able to make the decision, or whether you feel something else is in control. And it's very interesting with the kind of energy that's coming through with past loved ones or ancestors, because the same question exists there. On one part, it's the addictions, and this could be addictions that you have, addictions that past loved ones have had. It could be addiction to control or addiction to following. So it could be a psychological addiction, it could be a literal addiction, but there's something here where there's a past loved one or ancestral energy that is asking you to have a look at that, or to understand that they have gone through the rigors of addiction and they maybe were hostage to their addiction. Now, whether that means that you have an addiction that you're dealing with, or whether it's just to give you a different way of looking at things, that, in terms of, because the other side of this is leadership. So there may be a leadership energy. They may have been addicted to power. They might have liked to control. This could be someone who you actually know and is a past loved one, but someone who had a very controlling aspect of you, and they're coming to ask for forgiveness. That is a possibility with this, for you to understand that they had an addiction to leadership that took them away from what true leadership was. Because true leadership is not making people puppets, just acting out what you want. True leadership is inspiring rather than controlling and trapping. So there's some energy around this. It could be literally someone coming for some form of forgiveness from you, or even to ask for your help in releasing some sort of karmic debt that had an association with that. If you have anyone in your family line that you're aware of where addiction was an issue, they could be coming forward to try and show you what they learned, so that you don't end up in that sort of situation. As I say, this doesn't mean that you definitively have an addiction you're dealing with that is in like a physical sense, but there could be a thing about understanding the choices and understanding love. I'm getting that for some of you, this may be someone, whether they've gone through this themselves or whether they just recognize it, who, and this is very specific, it's only going to be some that come here. You could be in a somewhat addictive relationship where where issues of control, who's controlling and so forth, are a problem at this point that you need to look at. So there could be a message associated with that as well too. What is love? To what degree is love leading and taking things in a direction to help people? But at what point does that become addicted to control and it ceases to be allowing people to make their own decisions? These are the sort of themes that are coming up for you, that are coming through. So let's see if we get a bit of a sense about who it might be. Now, we're going to use the emotive confessions deck. We're going to see a couple of faces and a couple of expressions. This may help to describe someone. It could, if it looks like someone you know, then that could be a past loved one or ancestor, then that's a confirmation. But otherwise, we're looking for the expression, the energy, the age, the gender, a range of things like that, just to get a sense about whether it's one or two people that are talking or groups of people that have particular aspects like that, a side of your family, whatever it might be. So firstly, we have a very sort of serene, but a bit pensive looking woman. So this is likely to be a feminine energy coming through. And it's interesting that the leadership energy there is feminine. But we're also talking about an energy there where spirituality and spiritual beliefs and then worldly leadership, are perhaps something that had to be balanced in some way, because there's a very strong spiritual aspect to this person. Okay, and we have a wise person, a happy person. So I think there's a couple of energies coming through. I think the medium is saying to you there's a couple of energies coming through, or it's somebody who is talking about a whole life that they've had. And what they are ultimately saying is that they had a life well lived. But it was like at some point, I think what they're saying, at some point they realized that an act of love was not even about control, leadership, or the sort of enjoyment, all the vices in life. It was about having that sense of stepping back and allowing free will and allowing the spiritual energy to come in. It's like they're saying to you, when I was young, I had the vision of this, but I didn't know what direction to take. But at some point I realized that you let go and you let God. You follow your spiritual path. And you also allow other people to do it. You walk your talk. I feel this is a very beautiful, strong energy. It's actually bringing tears to my eyes. So sorry, I'm choking up a bit here. There is a beautiful energy coming through here of someone who could have been controlled by their circumstances, but in the end gave over to follow God, and therefore, in whatever form God is for them and in whatever form God is for you, there was a kind of an awareness and a releasing of the energy and a freedom. They found a freedom in what others might have thought was control. They had a devotion, not an addiction. Some may not have understood this person. Some may have felt that they did. They became, too slavishly devoted to something or someone. They could have had a great love that was in fact their most spiritual way of doing things. And some may have thought it was an addiction, but it really wasn't. It was coming into understanding who they were and letting go of the need for control, so that by the time they departed, and I think, they were at least middle-aged, maybe older by the time that they left Earth, they were happy. It was a life well lived. And they had a clarity. They had a clarity of vision. And they want that for you. They want you to be able to move beyond a kind of control yes and no to an almost a freedom and letting it go and letting inspiration take you where you want. So that you aren't caught in one pathway, which is what could make you addicted or what could constrain you in some way or make you a puppet of others, but that you lead by the example, or by the example that they've shown here, which is to just accept who you are truly and who you love truly and how you love and all of those sort of things in whatever way it manifests. Follow your spiritual path. That in the end will make you the happiest. Nothing else can control you if you do that. That's what they want to say to you. It's a really lovely energy. I wouldn't be surprised if for some of you I do think it's a feminine energy. I feel some of you, it might be your mother, if your mother's passed on, or a grandmother or an aunt or something like that. Now, it doesn't have to be. If you don't know someone like this immediately in your immediate sort of family that's passed on, it could be way back in your ancestral line. It could even be your soul family coming through. The deeply spiritual side of this could be a soul family. The fact that we're seeing what looks like on the face of it two different sort of spiritual traditions, two different races there might also say soul family rather than a specific ancestral line. But it sort of depends if you do relate to these, or if you come from sort of a family that has mixed race, then that may not apply. So it depends on who's come here. But this is a beautiful energy that wants you to follow your spiritual path and have a life well lived, not to be worried about the control issues around love and leadership and enjoying life. So let's see what Tarot wants to tell us. Let's see firstly what their overall message is to you. Then we're going to look at what they learnt that they want you to know, that they think is important for you to know. And then we're going to see what they think you don't recognise or see in yourself or your situation right now. So the first part is really, what are they here to talk to you about? Nine of Swords reversed, Page of Cups reversed, Queen of Wands reversed. Okay, yeah. Page of Wands, Temperance. Okay, all right. So firstly, this is definitely a spirit energy that died when they were older, or has a kind of sense of age around them, because they're saying to you, you're young. Even if you aren't young, like even if you are in your 60s and you're hearing this, the spirit is saying, you know what, in your heart you're still young. So whatever this is, there's a sort of sense of you still have this youthful energy, and they love that about you. They say that's the thing that you have, that's the precious thing that you have to protect. The greatest act of love you can do is balance and temperance, not control. It's balance. Balance of the material world and what one might enjoy, and balance of leadership around what is moderation and when do we use it in the right way. But you have this sort of, they love the innocence. They love this sort of youthful energy you have at whatever age you are. But they're saying, let go of the guilt. There's something that you feel guilty about, and it's made you not follow your heart, not follow your passion. You know, I feel like it's saying, love who you want to love how you want to love, do what you want to do. You know, that's all you have to do. But you feel guilty or something about it for some reason. Some of you may have struggled with addiction, but they're saying, like, you know, that doesn't have to control you. If that's the case, the energy and the balance is there. For some of you, literally finding temperance, you can find it. You have the strength to do that. It doesn't have to control you, if that is the message that they're saying. But I think for most of you, it's kind of, you feel guilty or out of step with your family or your friends or something like that. And it's saying, you know, all you have to do is be you, because that's a beautiful energy. So what did they learn in their lives that they would like to pass on to you? Queen of Cups reversed, Ten of Cups reversed, Knight of Wands, Three of Cups. Okay, all right. This may very well be a member of your soul family rather than your personal family. I wouldn't be surprised with what they're saying here, but otherwise they're sort of saying something. There's something for you, I think, for many of you, whatever is blocking you following your true path has got something to do with family. So they're saying they learnt in their life that their family connections were not what they were feeling emotionally. So I feel, you know, like there is here, it doesn't have to be the actual religions we were seeing in that, but it does look like a shift in faith, a shift in belief, a shift in sort of culture. I think they said they learnt that. They learnt that they had to move on from that. That was where they could find celebration. So there may be sort of something here where if some of you are struggling with you know, as I say, you know, what you believe, who you love, how you want to be in the world, and it is kind of like there's a lot of controlling energy around you. It may be that they say, we learnt in the end, even though it's hard to leave the kind of original kind of connection, you've got to move on to find your real people, find who will celebrate you rather than who will probably suppress your heart. There's something here about that. And as I say, even if you're in your 60s and you've been through this is like, find your people. Find your people. So what do they feel is unrecognised that you, in yourself or in the situation, that they really want you to see? Nine of Cups. You can have joy. Ace of Pentacles. A new beginning is possible. Again, doesn't matter what age you are, a new beginning is possible. The world. You can have the world. You know, like, you can have freedom. Oh, gee, this is a lovely message. You can have freedom. Just let go of the pain. Let go of the guilt. If anything, at the moment, they're saying you're addicted to dealing with the control issues and trying to establish your leadership. They're saying that the solution is walking away from that whole paradigm, walking towards who you are, walking towards those who accept you. You can have your wish. A new beginning is there. Complete what you were doing. Free yourself. Don't carry any guilt. None of this matters. You don't need to carry it. Leadership is moving forward. Don't stay addicted to the guilt. Don't stay addicted to the feeling, oh, what have I done wrong? You haven't done anything wrong, pile 2. Wow, this is a very, very powerful message that's coming through. Let's see what the crystal ball wants to tell us. Seeing, oh, this is interesting, a baby bird, like a baby bird that's just come out of, I guess, do all birds come out of eggs? I'm not sure. But a baby bird that's just been born. And again, I sort of feel like I keep on saying, it doesn't matter if you're old. There's something intensely youthful in you that wants to have its chance to fly. And there's like a pig with wings. So I think that I feel like you're almost saying, yeah, pigs will fly. Sure, I can do this. And they're laughing. There's a kind of a humour here going, no, 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 no. What we're saying is true. Don't just push it away. Don't think it isn't possible for you. Like they're sensing that you're kind of like not wanting. It's hard to believe in it because it would be painful if it wasn't true. Now I see a duckling. Some of you may have felt like the ugly duckling in your family, and yet you're very beautiful. I see the world. You're meant to be out in the world. I see a heart. You're meant to find love. There's something about love, who you love, how you love. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful energy. You have to kind of see that as what is heading towards who you want to be and how you want to be, not trying to sort of stay caught up in relationships that don't allow that. I feel for some of you, I see a lot of stress lines. There's a lot of stress lines around things like love. It's like static energy. It's like move away from the static energy, ground yourself, and then find who you are again. X marks the spot. There's something. It's almost like you knew. You go back to that, go back to what you knew because you were right. People told you you were wrong, but you were right, pile 2. You were right for you, and that's all that matters. It's interesting. It's very misty. It's very misty. The whole energy of this crystal ball at the moment is misty. It's finding your way through the mist. I see some sort of very big sea creature like a whale or something like that. Like you're powerful within the emotional waters. You really are. You've just got to own that. You can't be controlled in the emotional waters once you know who you are, what you are. Oh, and I see a dragon. I love that. Love that. Connect to the dragon energy. Connect to your dragon power. Dragons of the sea are incredibly powerful. Yeah, I think this is all. They wanted you to know about your power, that you don't need to be controlled by anything else. You're powerful in and of yourself. Okay, let's see what tokens can bring us messages from your past loved ones or ancestral energy, or I think maybe for you, as I've said a number of times, your soul family. Okay, we've got horse. I think with horse, it's like, yeah, get on the horse, get moving, move towards what you want. A shell. A shell is very precious. A shell can hold the pearl, like an oyster with a pearl. And again, it's something of the sea. There's something of the sea with you. There's something of water, of emotion, of heart. It's a very, very strong feeling in you. It's interesting. We see a bat here. Maybe you need to sort of fly away at night. Maybe you need to do a little bit to start with, a little bit under the cover of night. You are meant to find love, though. Look at this. The arrow through the heart. If you haven't already found it, you're meant to find it. And it's soon if it hasn't happened yet. Time is sort of coming into play for you. Oh, for home, for the real home and hearth, for the happiness, for the enjoyment. There is a lot here about love. I do think I mean, there could be sort of other things that are around, what you want to be in the world and all of that sort of stuff. But I do think a lot of this is about you finding love and getting away from energies that are making you doubt your lovability or whatever. You're a very, very lovable person. You're meant to move towards that. And time is of the essence at the moment. But there's some almost addiction to the viewpoint or the control of others. And I am getting very strongly that for some of you, you might have naturally been drawn to potential lovers or partners that you gave all your power to. And I think that part of becoming who you are and the overall message that we got right at the beginning is to take that power back so that you can find the right person. Okay, so let's also see what dream or sort of meditation or synchronistic energy your spiritual speakers here are bringing you. Cat, feminine energy. Yes, it's a very feminine energy coming through. Emotions, intuition, magic, spirituality. This, if you did know this person, they were very spiritual. They may have been very young but seemed very old, or they might have been older but seemed very young, but maybe spiritually ageless. If it is a person that you knew, that they might have had a cat, or you might have felt that they had a cat-like energy. Cats may come into your life if you don't already have them. If you do have a cat, there may be a way that connects through to this spiritual energy. Watch to see if it seems to be trying to communicate something to you. I'm also feeling, interestingly enough, the goddess Bastet, which is connected to cats, could be a goddess energy to connect to here for the sort of spirituality and magic of things. And Bastet wanted to have fun. So I think there is an energy here about, enjoy yourself. You might almost have come from a very Puritan and controlling energy that said anytime you enjoy yourself, the next minute you're going to be an addict. And it's just like, no, you can actually have a bit of fun. And Cliff, danger, obstacles, insecurity. Okay, so I think that this is saying, it's interesting, we've got the sort of like the feminine, clever energy here, and then we have Cliff. This is probably where you would feel. Once you start to jump into who you are, you may feel that you're on a cliff. You may feel insecure at first. You may feel discomfort. But you will find if you jump, you fly, because this is the way that you free yourself. It's like the Fool card. It's like doing something very new, breaking away and doing something very new. But your spirit team here, your loved ones are saying it will feel a bit scary at first. But we'll catch your fall, I'm hearing. We'll catch your fall if you feel that that's going to happen. We'll give you wings. You've got to break free, even if it feels scary, because otherwise you're trapped. And if you're trapped, you will have, regrets about that. Remember too that cats can jump from great heights and land on their feet, the 9 lives of cats. So I think there's sort of like a don't be afraid energy coming with this as well. Don't be afraid. Okay, feeling very powerful. Let's get you just some astrology energy as well to guide you. See what else they say using astrology. Jupiter, this is meant to be for your expansion. This is meant to be lucky. You will be protected, and it's kind of important that you will be protected. They're here to protect you. They want you to expand and grow and be all that you can be. Fixed, and you need to sort of like take your course and stick to it. Don't let anything take you away from that. Get a bit stubborn for what you want. Conjunction, because you're meant to find the one. There's definitely a love energy here. Love, or at the very least, kind of very strong connection with those that can help you move forward. But I think for most, there's a very strong love energy around this. If you're already happy and in love, then it's saying that is part of what helps you do this, and that is another support that you have there. Okay, so let's just finish off with a blessing that they bring. Oh no, before we do that, we've got the questions. I almost forgot. So what we are asking these past loved ones or ancestors, spirit team, spirit family, that kind of energy, is for to answer a couple of yes/no questions. So that's what they need to be. They need to be yes/no. So the answer is very similar, yes, simple, very simple, yes or no. So I'm going to toss this twice off camera and show you the answer. So if you haven't got your question yet, pause, think of it, and then press play to see the answer, and do the same thing for question 2. So I'm just doing question 1 now. And the answer is yes. Okay, and then we're going to do question 2. So pause if you need to. Question 2. And the answer is yes. So you have 2 yeses. If you didn't want yeses, then maybe think about some of the message here about what you could learn from the guidance and so forth to get a better outcome in that. Might be something completely different to what what this is talking about. If you wanted yeses, of course, then that's a good answer, a happy answer at this point. Okay, so we're just going to ask for a final blessing as the medium closes out the session. A blessing on a journey. Yeah, because there is a journey associated with a journey to home, a journey to the heart. The horse, you've got the horse here to take you on the journey. You've got the home to go towards. You've got the wings to deal with the obstacles. You've got the heart to connect with. You have a blessing on a journey. You're meant to reach where you're wanting to reach, so have faith. So I hope that resonates for you, Potu. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If so, please like the video and subscribe. If you care to share in the comments, I'd love to hear. Otherwise, I hope to see you in future readings. Welcome, Pile 3, to your reading. So you came to the reading with promise. And it's interesting that we have here messenger and perfection as other elements to give us a bit of an idea about what sort of spirit energy is coming through and why. I got a very specific thing the minute that I laid out the other 2 cards with promise, and it's maybe only 1 or 2 people that come here. It might be a few. It might be very specific. It might be only 1, but I'm going to say it. If there is someone who you knew in life who's passed on who promised to show you that there was life after death, promised to connect with you, then this is the person who's come through. Because they're a messenger, and they're to show you, I think, the perfection that life and spirituality and all is. So there is a sense of that. If there's someone who made a promise to you in life and then was not able to fulfill it because they passed on, they can see that you can still perfect what this is, and they are bringing that message. Beyond that, this may be somebody who's coming through from your family, loved ones, whatever it is, to help you fulfill a promise that you have. A promise that you've made to someone else, or just the promise of your life to perfect some great skill, some great ambition, something like that. And they're really here just to bring that message. They're sort of saying, I've got to go on and do some other things after this. I won't necessarily be here all the time, but I'm coming in now because it's important. This person may also be very mercurial, might have been a great communicator. So if they're not just coming here for this message, then it might be also to try and show you who they are. The person who was very witty, who was able to sort of always come up with a very quick sort of joke or something like that, or really get to the core of something. Who have very high standards. This person had very high standards, and their word was their bond. So if you know the people, that's the energy that we're seeing coming through. If you don't, it could be someone in your ancestral line or someone in your soul family that is like that, who's wanting to bring you a message, I think, about you fulfilling the promise of your life. So one of the things that we're going to do to try and get a better sense about whether it's 1 spirit or 2 or more, a group of spirits, and what the energy is, maybe things like gender, age, all those kind of things. We're just going to draw a couple of cards from the Emotive Confessions deck to just see if we can get a little bit more of a sense about what the medium is picking up here. Who's speaking through the medium to you? Okay, it may very well be a female energy, possibly someone who was older, who passed away when they were older, or at least sort of like in middle age. This is someone, there's a humour in that face. There's a seriousness about fulfilling promise and doing that, but there's a sort of a humour. There's also a little bit of tiredness. And we have, wow, very spiritual energy, very calm, perfect. Yeah, this is on a very strong energy. This is very female energy. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be, if you were thinking of someone who was in fact a male in their life, it could just be sort of their feminine aspect. So that's okay. But it's a very strong, nurturing, caring, spiritual energy. One of the things this energy is coming to you to say is, I feel like for some of you, this person was tired. Maybe they had illness to deal with that you helped them through. Maybe they carried a lot. They had a lot of messages. When they were here in the world, they had a lot that they had to express, lot that they had to do. And it's almost like they're saying to you, particularly if they did make some sort of a promise to show you that there was something beyond, it's like, here I am, and I'm still me. But you know what? So much is lifted off you in between lives that it's like you're reborn. And this is like you get back to the core and the essence of you. So I feel like there is definitely a message here for some of you that there is life after death, that spirits connect on and are with you. And that we are at both stages and at all stages, both in our life and also in between both. We're ageless. We are both wise and old and seasoned and young and full of promise and perfect. Like we are all perfect. See how perfect she is? Like that, so beautiful. And we have perfection there. But look, the perfection there is shown with an older woman. There's sort of something here about the perfection at any age. And so there may be a message here for some of you around that. They may want you to know that whatever age you are, whether you feel you're too young and ungainly yet for some reason, or you feel you're too old and where is your sort of beauty, or whatever it might be, that the beauty is always there. The wisdom, the depth, the caring is there. And this sort of like the perfection of your soul, the beauty of your soul. Like I feel like that's part of what they're wanting to talk to you about. Particularly if there's not that they just wanted to come back and say, yes, I'm still here, but I'm almost reborn with that. Some of them may be saying too that I'm here only briefly to show you this because I have to be reborn soon. That could be the message as well. So it depends. If you know this person, you made some sort of promise, or they made some sort of promise to you. I think this could be for some of you a soulmate or a soul twin as well. So this could be someone that you felt that with in life who has moved on, or someone that you had that kind of relationship in a former life. And so they're connecting with you, even if they're not, doing that kind of role in this life. And again, I'm not talking about gender here or what gender you are. I'm talking about the soul's energy. The other side of this, with this sort of like wisdom and wanting to bring the message, the wisdom of age, the wisdom of understanding, this could be saying to you, you have so much promise and you can reach the sort of perfection you want. You can do it. You can achieve it. Don't give up and don't doubt yourself. There's a sort of a message there as well for you. So lovely energy. So let's see with Tarot what else they want to say. So we're going to start for just what is the key message that connects maybe to this promise. You might have made a promise to someone too, I'm getting, and they're saying, you know what, you can carry it out if you want, or you can let it go. Either is fine. Either is perfect. I'm going to love you anyway. Is maybe a message that I'm getting for somebody. Let's see what the overall message is. We're then going to have a look at what they learned in life that they would like to pass on to you, and then anything they think you're not seeing in yourself or in your life at the moment. But firstly, the major message that they're bringing to you. Two of Swords reversed, Four of Wands, Eight of Cups, Three of Cups reversed. Okay, actually, I'm getting a really heartbreaking message. I don't know. This is like, not for everybody, but I'm just getting one very specifically. If this is someone who you loved and who passed on, they're saying, or even that, that you're married, like if you're a widow or a widower or something like that, they're saying, I'll always love you. Oh, God, I'm feeling emotional now. I'll always love you, but it's okay. You can move on. Don't deny yourself happiness. Wow, okay. I don't know who that's for. That's for somebody. Stepping away from that as the interpretation, the message. I think that the other sort of like broader message around this is that to find what you really want, the promise of who you are, the perfection, you have to make the decision to move away from anybody who is not supporting who you are or who wants to block who you are. So I think there's a whole other area here around you have this promise, you can be perfect, but you need to hear the message that there are people who are blocking it. You need to move away from them. You can have the happiness in whatever form that is, family, career, whatever it is. It's okay to make that decision. It's okay to believe in it. All right, so then let's see, what did they learn in their life that they would want you to benefit by? The Tower reversed, Three of Wands, Four of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles reversed. Okay, all right. So again, I'm getting this, there's two layers of this message. I am getting for some of you or one of you, there is something about a past loved one who was like a partner. So I'm going to talk about that one first and then go on from that. What they're saying is that what seemed to be a devastating end is not the end. There are new voyages that you will both go on together, and they're promising you that. Wow. Boy, is this emotional. All these have been emotional, but this one's big time. They're promising you that. Even if it's in the next life, they are promising you that. They say the foundation is too strong. Nothing can keep that apart, not even the material world. Oh, boy. I think they'll stay with you. I don't think they're going to sort of move on unless they have to be reborn. But I suspect in that case that you'll probably pass away first and then you'll be reborn together, because I feel like this is like a very profound connection if that's the case. So they're saying nothing can break that bond. And even if it seemed devastating, we're still together. So that's a very powerful message for whoever that's for. For anybody else, they're saying that you are more in control of your life than you think. You are more in control of your direction than you think. External factors and so forth are not going to fall over if you go in the direction that you want. You already have the grounding. You just aren't listening to the right people. So, you have the promise and it can be perfect. You need to hear this message because you're getting the wrong sort of stuff from people in the material world. Okay, so what do they feel is unrecognized or unseen in you at the moment? Six of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, the Star. Yeah, you are meant, you have great promise. The Hanged One reversed, the Ace of Swords reversed. So I'm going to do the through line for the person or persons that the message is from a past loved one first. They are going to be a kind of spiritual benefactor for you. They're going to continue to message with you. That they are certainly not ones that are only here for the short term. They'll be around until I think you're together in the afterlife, so to speak. They think you're a star. Your connection together is like following the North Star. You just need to think differently about this. It's not the end. It's just, you just have to wait for the next new beginning. Okay? So that's what they want you to recognize. For others that are more around you fulfilling your promise, which I think is the other message that's coming through here, they're saying there will be benefactors for you. There will be people who see how brilliant you are, like have faith in that. You just have to think differently. There's an idea or an inspiration and you're kind of not letting it through. Almost, it is saying to some degree that there is the huge sort of cavern that exists between the promise and the perfect actualization. And it's possible for some of you that you prevaricate on going forward because you have all these ideas, but you're not sure how you can make them perfect. And if we go back to the Tower reverse, it's saying you can do it incrementally. You can do this, but you have to take step by step by step. There's a saying around big change in organizations, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. There's that kind of energy around this for you. So you can do it, but you are maybe getting in your own way a bit, they're saying, by wanting to jump from the promise to the perfected outcome too quickly. So in whatever this is, allow time for things to shape and grow. There is so much potential here that you will waste it if you think, the first draft of the novel has to be it, or the first time you sing a song, it has to be perfect. It's like, allow the thing to develop. Okay, let's have a look and see what the crystal ball has to say. There's some sort of animal. I think it looks a bit like some form of canine. I don't think it's a dog, but it's some sort of a canine energy looking straight at you. It could be a wolf maybe. There's a sort of a sense, it feels very strong. It feels like it's watching over you. I feel like you have a very strong animal spirit guide of the canine sort of side of things that is watching over you. It might be a fox actually. Fox may be more what it is. Clever, seeing your cleverness. Might be also these energies telling you you're clever. Know that you're clever. Know that you can have a strategy. There's a candle burning. There's a candle burning for you. There's a flame. Okay, so this is definitely for those where the energy is coming through from a past love. Their flame burns for you as brightly as ever. It can't go out. Doesn't mean you can't go on and have another love in this life, depending upon your age or whatever. Doesn't mean anything like that. Nothing will sever that bond. But they want you to be happy, but know that they will always love you. Okay, I'm seeing looks a bit like an alien face. Some of you may feel alien, may feel very different, or it could be that some of you have starseed connections. Some of this could be to starseed energy. I'm also seeing an owl. There's a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of wisdom. They have a lot of wisdom. I feel like this energy in particular is very wise. It has a calm, wise acceptance. Give things time, it's saying. Give things time. Give yourself time. I see a beautiful leaf. It's got so many different colours and sort of texture. I feel like it's saying, like we are all like a leaf on a tree. We're all, and your leaf is beautiful. It's varied, it's different, it has, it's so lovely. It's just a sense of like this is a very loving energy. This is an energy that very much admires you, wants you to admire yourself. See the moon sort of watching over you. It's like it's saying it's like the moon energy. We're watching over you. We kind of give you light when it's dark. We give you a direction when it's dark. I'll always be there for you. And a camel. This is interesting. This is the resilience to go through difficult times, to sort of carry what you need and nothing more than what you need. You are all you need, I think it's saying. Okay. Let's see what tokens can bring messages to you. Pile 3. Okay, Aries and Sagittarius and Pisces, so any of those things could be important astrologically in your chart or in the chart of the person. If it's not literally that, there's this sort of freedom of belief, there's the new ideas, and there's the connection psychically. Okay, umbrella. They're saying, I'm your umbrella. I'll be your umbrella. I'll protect you. Listen, hear. You're clairaudient. They want you to know you're clairaudient. You don't need this to hear them. You don't need this medium to hear them. You can hear them. If you listen, they will speak to you. It's like they're setting off an alarm. It's like ding, ding, ding. You may hear something like that. Pay attention to that sort of thing. They're coming through. It's interesting. This is like the storyboard for a movie. It's something they're saying, like your life could be epic. The love is epic. It's like there's something that's like kind of very dramatic and wonderful about this. You're on the right path, it's saying, with the road here. Just need to get on the path and be sure about it. And look, celebration. Celebration. Enjoy your life. They want you to enjoy your life. They want you to fulfill your promise. They want you to hear what they're saying about the fact that your life is meant to be epic. And if this is a past, someone is the love was epic, they're still with you. Just listen. You can hear them. You can celebrate that. But keep going on the road because you have more to do. They'll be here for you. Wow. Okay. Beautiful. So let's see what kind of dream energy they might send you, dream or synchronistic energy, to let you know that they're near or to pass on more messages to you. Mushroom, shadow work, growth, subconscious potential. You may, there are two messages that could be here. Apart from the fact that you may dream of mushrooms, you may be nourished by eating mushrooms, you may see them around, all of that kind of thing synchronistically. If you are resonating to the message that you may have been hesitant to follow your full potential, then they're saying that doing some shadow work around that, getting into your subconscious, doing some meditation, doing some shamanic journeying, doing something like that could really, really help you. Mushrooms are incredibly They open the mind. So they might be saying, open the mind, open your mind to all your possibilities as well. And legumes. This food. They want you to be nourished. They want to nourish you, and they want you to be nourished, and they want you to move forward to your potential to nourish yourself. Seeds, potential, marriage. So, for some of you, this is a very strong love connection. Prosperity, luck manifesting. But they want you to still live. They want you to still nourish yourself. They want you to still dream big and see all that you could be. Whether it is someone who you loved and you've lost, or whether it is just that kind of energy coming through for you from either a past life love or a soul family connection, or even somebody who has almost a more nurturing maternal love for you and wishes you to see what you can do. But there's a huge amount of nourishment. They want you to think about food, about food and feeling the body and feeling the belly and feeling ready to go forward. I think that's why I saw the camel. Is that kind of like sense of like the camel carries so much of its water and its nourishment already within it. That gives you the resilience to do this, to take your promise into your potential and make it perfect. Okay, let's see what astrology energy they could also communicate with you through. Uranus. Yeah, there's some transformation here. They want you to take your potential. They want you to fulfill your promise. They want you to be inspired. Don't stand still. They're saying don't stand still. Cardinal. Yeah, you're an initiator. You're meant to take something through. This is the Aries energy. You're really meant to do that. Don't stand still, I'm hearing again. They're quite insistent on that. And third house, communicate, connect, get your ideas out there. Mercury's very strong for you. Use that energy. And it's also, you're clairaudient. You may be also clairsentient, like the mercurial sort of energies, the voice, the things that you might see written. Automatic writing, I'm getting, try that. They're trying to tell you the ways that you can connect with them. You can hear them, you can do automatic writing. You could probably channel if you wrote. Anything to do with communication. They want to keep this connection with you. They don't want the message to just be this. That was what that was about. I thought it was maybe like that they're only here for one message. I think, no, they want more. They want to see this through for you. So they're trying to show you the ways that you don't have to rely on this reading to do it going forward. Okay, so remember I said that we would ask them to answer a yes/no question a couple of times. So I don't know whether you've remembered that. If not, pause and think about your two questions, and then pause, watch, because I'm just going to throw the coin off camera so I don't break the camera, and then show you whether it's yes or no. So the first question now for pile 3, the answer is no. And then the second question that you're asking them for pile 3 is yes. So you have a no and a yes. If either of those were not what you wanted, then there might be something in this message that can help you shift. Remember, you have free will and so forth. Okay, to finish up, we're just going to ask them for a blessing for you to close out the reading. Wow, this came up for one of the others, a blessing of the earth. I think this is saying there is so much for you to do in this earth. There is so much that you could manifest. There's so much that you could be. Just ground yourself, believe in yourself, nourish yourself. This is why we're getting legumes and mushrooms and so forth. That's why we also had the wolf or the fox energy. There's a lot about nature with you, the earth. The earth is really a wonderful place for you to fulfill your promise. Believe in that. Move forward. You're meant to manifest something, and they want to see you do it. They want to see you fulfill your promise. So I hope that this resonates for you. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If so, please like the video and subscribe. If you care to share in the comments, I'd love to hear. Otherwise, I hope to see you in future readings.